All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto this like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. Quick show to the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Let one of your brothers be edified. Let the video play. Now go from there.
Hot topic given the increased economic pressure American families have felt due to the pandemic. As a result, a number of guaranteed income programs have been piloted across the country. One program aims to provide $850 a month to black women in Atlanta, no strings attached. The Georgia Reliance and Opportunity Fund selected the Old Fourth Ward neighborhood for the pilot program. 38% of black women in the area live in poverty compared to 26% of black men and 8% of white women. For 2 years, a coalition of nonprofits and city officials will choose up to 650 black women as beneficiaries. The In Her Hands program will also study the financial and mental health impacts unconditional cash payments will have on recipients. The research findings from the program will be used to understand the mechanisms by which cash can provide and improve women's lives and well-beings. The findings will also potentially be used to lobby local governments for permanent guaranteed income programs. The concept of
The UBI, which I don't think you can even say that no more. I don't know. You can't say a lot of things on YouTube, but yeah, this is part of the UBI. And out of all people to protect and out of all people to receive money, who really squanders money, the black woman, how much more does this woman needs? All right, this is how you know the society is done. It's through when it just provides a sector of people money for no reason. All right, this is why a lot of black women think highly of themselves, not knowing that this is a setup. And what it's all going to lead to is, Revelations 13:16. Okay? It's right in your face. This is saying what? The carrot and the stick. All right? They're baiting that carrot. Because this is all about the dysfunction of you Negroes and your women. Because they're saying that more black women are in poverty than the black man. What logical sense does that make? Women receive welfare. Women receive child care. Women receive, if they're married, if they once married, they receive alimony. All right, they get help in every form of fashion. But what this really is, once again, it's all about that UBI. If you don't know what that means, I suggest you look it up, because I don't think I can be saying that on YouTube these days. But that's what it is. That's all it's all about. They try to run this whole situation prior, when it was giving out that money, and what was it, last year, to try to make it permanent. And that's the key word, permanent. Once your enemy's trying to give you stuff, be very aware. Be scared. All right? Be very, very afraid. Nobody gives nothing for free. Well, in these days, they give out things for free and people don't think nothing of it. All right? Because they can't think. Your enemy does not care about you. Especially if your enemy find an opportunity to destroy you. I'm going to get the scripture, Ecclesiastes 12:10. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped away the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Meaning, he was always wicked to you back then. He's always going to be wicked to you now. There's nothing changed. This is why we say what we say about so-called black women. Because she's going to fall for this, and she's going to get her just deserves. I believe it's, 1 Peter 5:15. Matter of fact, 1 Peter 5. No. 2. says First Timothy's Slack. I don't know what. First Timothy's 2. I started 13. Adam was first, then Eve. Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. So that's the key to everything. Who was deceived? Eve. And how she was deceived? By the serpent. So we're going right back to the same thing. These women are put in a position of power when they're not supposed to be. That's why it says, matter of fact, I'm going to start at 12. But suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. And this is what Paul stated, all right? That they should be in silence, not to usurp authority over men. But what is America always promoting? Just look at the vice president. She's over regional men. Biden has stated two of them actually, was two female admirals. Why is this whole notion of protecting the black woman is such a top priority? Because they're not after protecting your dumbasses. They're using you, okay? They're using you to get to the man. And more now these days, the men are realizing that you women ain't shit. Part of my Swahili. First Timothy's 5. I can get this one. 15. So I'll start out 14. It says, I will therefore the young women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Let's look at the word occasion. It's a place for which a movement or attack is made, or base of operation. Metaphorically, that by which endeavors is excited and from which it goes forth, that which gives occasion or supplies matter for undertaking to incentives, the resources we avail ourselves and obtain or perform anything. So given the opportunity, they will take those opportunities, which they clearly doing in the society. Start with the feminist movement, they jumped that bandwagon, and ever since then, the black woman's been side to side with the so-called white woman. Now she's the so-called the most educated out of, not of everybody, just over the black man, because after a while, black men don't. The educational system is not really made for us. You're not made to take orders. You're made to give orders. Women are made to take orders. All right? That's why a majority of women go to college. And once they go to college, they're heavily indebted. And if they're fortunate to get the job that they went to college for, the rest of the remaining of their life, they're indebted and they still find more debts. So the sole purpose of the woman is out of place in the society. All right, you have women that's out there just having kids left and right with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's out there, literally. And now all of a sudden she needs to be the most protected and given more financial aid to. Who you fooling? But now they're giving occasion to the adversary. Who's the adversary? Esau, Edom. All right. Serpent and the Eve. It says, for some are already turned aside after Satan. So majority of these women today are turned aside to Satan. And here's some of the rewards. Now what they failed to tell you, prices are going to skyrocket. What they failed to tell you, you're going to be taken out of your comfort zone. You're no longer going to have that protection. Because when society crumbles, guess what happens? People lose it. And those people that's been taking advantage of the current situation right now are going to be victimized by those that the have-nots. And there was a video, I can't find it, but of a talk show. No, it's a podcast of women that just sit there and basically they were saying that how they've been dealing with the so-called white man. Until one woman said specifically she was sworn to secrecy, not to invoke slavery or anything to the black man. And there's all this defunding police nonsense. They need to fund the police because if all hell breaks loose, when all hell breaks loose, that's what they said. That they know the so-called black man is gonna come after them. All right, they were sworn into secrecy. That's why a lot of them got with the devil. All right, literally, because they know once society crumbles, they're gonna crumble. So when your enemy is allowing all these perks coming, expect the worst possible outcome. They could give up all the money that they want, with hyperinflation and no protection, crime skyrocketing. Okay, you don't know when you're gonna get the next meal because famine is on board. Ain't gonna matter at all. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna make this short and quick. I find that story kind of interesting. Isaiah 32 and go to the point. Rise up, you women that are at ease, and that's another form of being at ease, relaxation. Oh, now you can get food stamps, $1,000 worth of food stamps, free housing. Like if they were married, which a majority of them are not, but if they were married, they could receive alimony. All of them, regardless, married or not, receive child support. That's ease, man. Now they're talking about some form of UBI for black women. It's crazy. It's just black women. Are you serious? And this is what the Lord said. Hear my voice, you careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Because these women are careless. Matter of fact, let me get my other favorite scripture real quick before Jeremiah 9:20. Yet hear the word of the Lord, O you women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and every one her neighbor lamentation. Hey, because you have women out there that's training their young daughters to be fuck whores, thoughts. That's a new terminology today. Thoughts. All right, they train thoughts. The scripture says in Ezekiel, so is a mother, so is a mother, so is a daughter. So they teaching them how to be thoughts, how to use the system. Hey, I remember when Apostle Paul said, if you're gonna deal with a woman in the world, she gotta know how to any sort of wickedness, how to use the system. The women know how to use the system, and right now they know how to use this system very well. All right, that's why when it comes to housing, as a man, quote unquote, of color, black man, Hispanic man, whatever, you could be in the same situation as a woman, and you could be waiting on housing for forever. But just because a woman is getting knocked up, she get the housing right away. Come on, are you serious? But the scripture says, teach your daughter wailing, mourning, just to mourn. It says, for death is come up in its windows, and it's our palaces to cut off the children from without, and the young men from the streets. So death is coming. All right. So you went from a ease state to death coming. Back in Isaiah 32:9 said, rise up, you women are at ease. Hear my voice, you careless daughters. Give ear to my speech. Many days and years shall you be in trouble. So when you hear things like that, that don't sound like trouble to them, right? That don't sound like trouble at all. But really, what's behind this giveaway? All right, why are they giving all this money away? Because this is scientific research, and they know exactly how to get these people. So all they got to do is take that Revelation 13:16, since you can't say it, the charagma. Take that shit, and then that's what you get. But You take that shit, and you still gonna get that trouble. All right. The scripture says many days and years. So we're not even on that point yet. But when it happens, you will feel it. And when you will feel it, you will cry. Say, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Let's look at the word vintage. Oh, this is vintage. Vintage is something, well yeah, it's the same pretty much. Gathering. Hold on. Yeah, vintage. That is the great corp vintage. So all these perks that's coming is going to fail, man. All of it. Every last one of it. It says, tremble ye women that are at ease. Isn't that kind of funny? The Lord said it again. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. So you're going to take all these Gucci, Fendi, all this crap that you love so much. You're going to throw that away and put sackcloth. Because we come into the point where it doesn't matter what the hell they say. Hyperinflation is at hand. And just like Venezuela, just like any other country that dealt with hyperinflation, once the going got tough, those women became tricks, and they were selling that box out in them streets. So if they could sit there and say they're going to give all this money out, they're going to be tricking, because there ain't going to be nothing flowing anymore the way it once was. Trouble is coming, whether you believe it or not. So it's something real quick through the spirit. Find that kind of interesting. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.